Greetings, everybody. This is T-Licious 587. As usual, I'm in my car about to hit the highway, and I have a thought crossed my mind because I look at a lot of posts on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and I see where a lot of women are being called mammies. The type of women who really support black men and got their backs, and the ones that love black men and just act like black men are the best thing since pockets. They're called mammies. And I've never been comfortable with that title for women who are called mammies. Oh, by the way, before I get started speaking about mammies, I want to say this. My videos will never be long. The longest my video might be 15 minutes. That's tops. I'm an extremely busy person, so I'm not going to be one of those people that make videos that's an hour and 2 and 3 hours long. I know most people are very busy working and doing things, and they don't have that kind of time. So I just want to put that out there, that my videos will always be short and always be something to think about. Back to what I was saying about mammies. A lot of people call black women mammies who support black men and who love them and desire them and want to be with them and still support them and all that. And I never will call another black woman mammy who does that, because I want to tell you ladies something. It is not unusual for women to be male identified. First thing I'm going to talk about. Quite naturally, it is normal to be male identified. Most women of all races are male identified. It's the subject of that makes me think about how back in the day, when you got married, it was a blessing to you. Before women had jobs and before women could work the kind of jobs we have now and stuff like that, most women didn't work. So getting a husband, you were blessed. You got a provider. You got somebody to take care of you. You got somebody to put you in a home. Your life was better with a husband than women who don't have one. That's the reason why so many women are male identified. Back then they were, because they were focused on getting a husband. You get a husband, you're blessed. You have a better life than women who don't have one. Okay, but now that is not the case. Now women are able to get jobs and work and make decent salaries, like many of us do, and a lot of men don't really want to provide and protect anymore. I'm talking about in the black community. I'm not talking about men all over, because the men that I've been involved with in my life, they were providers and protectors. But some men don't feel the need to do that anymore. They feel like they don't want that job, and that they want the perks, but they don't want the job. But women who are called mammies, I want you ladies to look at this in a different light. The ones who keep calling women mammies who support men. Like I said, it is natural to be male identified. It is natural to want a man of your own species group. That is completely natural. White women have white men. Asian women have Asian men. Hispanic women have Hispanic men. Indian women have Indian men. It's totally natural to desire and prefer men of your own species. Only occasionally you see that not be the case. Like, for example, Asian women, many of them complain about Asian men being too dominant, being too controlling, and they don't like it. So they are going to white men in droves, because a lot of Asian men are very dominant. They are very stoic. They're not very emotional, and they're very controlling. You ever seen on the Asian films the geisha? It looks like she looks like a doll, and she's very quiet and she's very docile and basically a submissive role. It seemed like a lot of Asian men like women like that, and Asian women who have got careers and degrees and some of them own businesses, they're not going for that. So that's where their conflict lies, is why so many Asian women are going to men of other races. So the problem that black women have is not just us. This problem is widespread. But with us, as black women, our issues are very unique compared to other women. More unique than anyone else. Black women, our species counterpart, announces to the world that he doesn't like us, that he doesn't want us, that he doesn't desire us. He announces to the world that we're the least desirable women on the planet. Let me say something about that too, because I've had a few of them say that to me on Facebook and on YouTube. Well, black black women are the least desired women on earth. And I told them that's because even our own species counterpart don't pick us, don't choose us, don't prefer us. We're the only woman that is in that position. Every other race of woman, their species counterpart chooses them first, which is why we're at the bottom, because even our species counterpart don't choose us. But what I told those men who said that to me is that black men are also at the bottom too. They're just a rank above us. The only reason why they are not at the very bottom is because black women choose them as their primary choice in mate. If black women were like black men and said, well, we don't want black men, they would be below us. The only reason why they're not is because we choose them and we prop them up. That's the only reason why they're not below us. I just want to say that. It is quite natural to want your species counterpart. But black women are in a very unnatural situation. It's very unfortunate and it's very unnatural because black women have a species counterpart who tells the world that they don't like us, that he don't desire us, that he prefers women of other ethnicities, that he prefers women who have been raised properly and come from a two-parent home and have been raised well and went to private schools and had a mom and dad and they had wealth and money. They weren't poverty-stricken. He tells the world this. And I even seen a show, a talk show. It was a reality show about dating, where the white people who ran the show, the producers and the people who were casting, were dumbfounded because all the black men said, well, we don't date black women. We want to meet white women. We want to meet Asian. We want to be Hispanic. We don't want to be black. And the people who run the show were just dumbfounded because there was no white, Asian, and Hispanic women lining up in droves that want to date black men. That's not the case. Most people prefer their own species. That's natural. But we're, as black women, in a very unnatural situation with black men. Black men remind me of, you ever heard of anyone who has a home in a neighborhood and they don't maintain the home, they don't keep up the home, they don't cut the grass, they don't keep up the yard, they let the roof leak, they let things start to deteriorate, they don't clean and keep it clean, they don't keep the plumbing up, and the home becomes a ransack, the home becomes a pigsty, the home becomes almost condemned. And then that same man sees another man's home, an Asian man's home, a white man's home, and says, wow, they got a nice house. It's been kept up, and the yard's kept up, and the neighborhood is clean, and it looks nice. I think I want his house. I think I want his life. I think I want what he has. Instead of keeping up their own, they just go and they prefer to go and get somebody else's who has kept up their home, who's kept up their yard, who's kept up and provided for it and protected, and not let invaders come in and destroy their things. They want that man's life. They want that man's, what he cherishes. He feel like, well, he cherishes it, so it must be something special, so I want that. This is how they are. This is how they think. So, as black women, we're in a very unnatural situation with our species counterpart. So that's the reason why women who are all pro-black and proud of being black and they want a black man and only a black man for them, that's why they look so crazy. Because they're not looking at the situation that they're in with their men. Their wishful thinking is not realistic at this point in the game. When black men are announcing to the world that they don't like us, they don't want to be with us. And they're also doing a smear campaign on us as well, so that we're not able to move on. Because a lot of women, women like myself, who are have access to meeting men of other races, are leaving, and they are doing so. So it's really strange what's going on with us right now. And this time in history is a very unusual time for black women. It is very unusual in our interactions with our other half. It's very, very strange. It's very unfortunate. It's very unnatural. And I believe that our species counterpart thinks he's a white man by proxy. So he doesn't want to be with a woman that looks like him. He wants a woman that looks can't be gung-ho for them. We can't, we're not reciprocated. We can't be, oh, I love him and I'm supporting him and I got his back, and you'll be turned on. It's just not, it's not happening. And I know it's unusual and it's unprecedented. We don't even know how to really deal with this situation with our species counterpart, but it is what it is. And we have to accept it. And it's a reality that takes everybody different levels of time to accept. But I just want to say to us women who have a different thought process, who are more open-minded, to look at the women who you call mammies differently. They're not, there's nothing wrong with them desiring their own species counterpart. The problem is our situation is very unnatural that we're in. And it's very unfortunate, it's very unnatural, but it is what it is. And we have to accept that. And I don't know, I think that I will never call another black woman mammy. I will just call her less fortunate and maybe blindsided, but not a mammy. Anyway, I gotta run. I will be making videos whenever I have time. Peace.